What's up? Now you know what time it is again. Of course, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm here to do another review, and today I'll be reviewing the TV series Loki, episode 5 again. So, in this episode, at the end of episode 4, we saw that the actual timekeepers are completely not real. They're mindless androids, and so there's a unveiling of, okay, well, who's actually behind the time variance authority, because the time variance authority is very popular. The infinity stones don't even work there, and Loki can't use his powers as well, so it's a very powerful entity behind the time variance authority. um, but at the end of episode 4, we also see Loki getting pruned. We've seen people getting pruned in previous episodes. We just didn't see where they're actually going, where they actually go, or what actually happens when they're pruned. So it's just, I just assume basically that people are being killed. But in episode 5, we revealed that they're actually not being killed. They're being transferred to this realm called the Void, which is completely outside the timeline, in which the Time Variance Authority puts variances they deem as trash. Now, we don't know other alternative because we haven't been shown a different alternative. That basically the story's been focused on Loki and many different Lokis, but just Loki as we know in the cinematic universe and in the comic books as well. That's put in the TV show and also the MCU films. We don't actually know what they do with variances as an alternative to pruning. Because we haven't seen any other alternatives or any other ways in which the time variance authority deals with an actual variance. So basically we see just pruning, and he's taken to this realm, like I said, called the Void, and we meet other forms of Lokis, because Loki's is basically a representative of a variances. So we meet an alligator Loki, which I thought was pretty fascinating, pretty cool. He eats a cat that was outside the timeline, and that's why he ends up being pruned. He ends up being arrested by the time variance authority, and then also pruned to the Void. And then we also meet some other Lokis too as well, which is a form of a kid who kills Thor, and then also two other adult Lokis, which I thought was really fascinating, very interesting. And so the Void is explained to him immediately, to Loki, about what the Void is. And then also there's a guardian called Antheos that's actually keeping the variants trapped there so they can't actually escape. It's like this big spiritual, looks like demonic vortex of a dog that will basically, it looks like they evaporate people, because in the actual episode they show it evaporating people, which I'm assuming is killed. But like I said, it doesn't actually show or expound on that, so I'm assuming that they're killing, because there's a lot of different variances that are pruned here, and also objects that are pruned to the Void. I seen a big ship. They showed a very big ship with like at least 8 crew members there that end up getting evaporated, along with their ship too as well. So I'm assuming that they're dead. So there's a layer in which the variants have there in the Void. They're taken there and they go underground. And as the camera scrolls down and shows all the variances going down, all different Lokis going down, we see a small miniature size Thor with his hammer. And I'm like, and he's trying to reach for his hammer. It looks like he's in this vase of some form as this miniature size of him, and he's trying to reach his hammer. And I'm like, okay, what is that all about? That's pretty interesting. They should expound on that too. So each member explains everything. Sylvie is back at the time variance. She's talking about her purpose. She ends up escaping and pruning herself and comes to the Void to actually save Loki. This episode is shot beautifully, like all the episodes. It's shot very beautifully. It's expounded, it's elaborate in this world. The cinematography and the colors is absolutely beautiful. There's a scene in which they actually end up escaping the force that's keeping them there. And it's beautiful. It's just these really epic cinematic scope shots that just looks absolutely beautiful. This place that is called the Void, it's looks like this really large, expansive field of different types of stuff. It's not crowded in any form. It's no junk, but it's just like this field of a land where these variances reside on. There's some really great moments too. There were some sentimental, romantic moments between Sylvie and Loki, and also between the other Lokis. And then Morbius, he actually gets pruned, and he shows up there too. And there's some really great moments, but it made me think too, like in episode 3, what was the purpose of it? Why aren't they just going after or trying to figure out ways how to escape? Because it's established pretty early on, maybe mid way through the episode, that they can escape in a certain way by using Sylvie's enchantment powers. But they're staying there, still talking. I was like, why are they just talking? It felt like it was just a part of the script in which the writer says, okay, but this is a part where they're sentimental and they're getting closer, as opposed to just going after what they really want, which is to escape and find out what's outside the void. So, which really kind of contradicts, we really contradicts and clashes with the storyline, because like, okay, if you can reveal early on how to escape a certain way and strategic way to escape, why not just focus on that? Why focus on these sentimental moments? It was kind of basically a waste, like I thought episode 3 was. In general, so I give this episode a solid B. So please subscribe to my page, because you know I will be uploading at least one review a week.